The Constitutional Convention, also known as the Philadelphia Convention, took place from May 14th to September 17th, 1787 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It was designed to address problems in governing the United States of America, which had been operating under the Articles of Confederation following independence from Great Britain. Although the convention was intended to revise the Articles of Confederation, it ended up being just, its own separate thing. Chief among its leaders were James Madison and Alexander Hamilton. They wanted to create a new government rather than fix the old one. The delegates elected George Washington to preside over the convention. The result was the United States Constitution, placing the convention among the most significant events in the history of the United States. The most contentious disputes revolved around the composition and election of the Senate, and how the power was going to be decided. Such things included slavery and other property, and whether to divide the executive power between 3 persons or into a single president, or among the people, things like that. Okay, so a committee of detail was assembled during the July 4th recess and produced a rough draft. Most of this rough draft remains in place and can be found in the final version of the Constitution. After the final issues were resolved, the Committee on Style produced the final version, and it was voted on and sent to the states. Due to the difficulty of travel during the late 18th century, very few of the selected delegates were present on the designated day of May 14th, 1787, and it wasn't until May 25th that most people showed up. James Madison was first, and soon most of Virginia came too. While waiting for the other delegates, the Virginia delegation produced the Virginia Plan, which was written by James Madison himself. James Madison... Just what? Just stop there? Just stop there?
We don't know. We didn't time it.
How do we even know?
I don't know. Stop! 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 Once the final modifications have been made, the Committee of Style and Arrangement produced the final version. Not all of the delegates were pleased with the results. 13 left before the ceremony, and 3 of those remaining refused to sign. Edmund Randolph of Virginia, George Mason of Virginia, and Elbridge Gerry of Massachusetts. George Mason demanded a Bill of Rights if he was to support the Constitution. The Bill of Rights was not included originally, but many states ratified the Constitution with the understanding that it would soon follow. Shortly before the document was to be signed, Gorham proposed to lower the size of congressional districts from 40,000 to 30,000 citizens. A similar measure had been proposed earlier and failed by 1 vote. George Washington spoke up here, making his only substantive contribution to the text of the Constitution in supporting this move. The convention adopted it without further debate. Benjamin Franklin summed up their views by saying, "There are several parts of this Constitution which I do not at present approve, but I am not sure I shall ever approve them. I doubt too whether any other convention we can obtain may be able to make a better Constitution. It therefore astonishes me, sir, to find this system approaching so near to perfection as it does, and I think it will astonish our enemies." This concludes our presentation of the Constitutional Convention. The end.